Hello. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Good morning. Good afternoon, all. You're all welcome. All welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're all welcome. Good afternoon. Yeah, those joining us from from Canada again. You're all welcome. I see people, all of you here in Nigeria. You're all welcome. From Canada, US, you're all welcome. I can see them. That is nice. Yeah. Mr. Gabriel, you're welcome. Canada, you're welcome. You're all welcome. Yeah. Can see that we are all set for today's class. Yeah. Once it's 12 o'clock, as usual, we'll make our prayer before we continue. Once it's exactly 12. Okay, 12 dots. Let somebody in the house pray for us, please. Let somebody in the house pray for us.
Father, we thank you for the meeting today. We thank you so much for all that you teach us, all that you guide us in. We thank you for the deliberations, the discussions, the questions, the answers. We thank you for the wisdom that comes forth today to help all of us make better decisions and get better advantage and also profit in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Thank you, Father, in Jesus' mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, and God bless you all. Yes, I will tell you that I want to start as usual with my encouragement and also advice that this is a meeting for those that I say who are serious. Please, all those noise at the background, please, we don't want it today again. Let's be learning. I think it started reducing gradually. Let's also keep to it today. If you want to discuss with anybody in your family, mute yourself. If you want to ask questions, unmute and ask questions. Immediately you are done, also mute yourself so that others can understand what we're saying. It can flow easily so that everybody at the end of the 1 hour class will also get something to go home with. Because I always say that the difference between you here and those that are not here is when you live here and take action the next day. That is what we will always preach so that we can work with those information at any given time. That means, please, let's have one house for today. As usual, I want to look at the month is almost coming to an end. Then that means I want to look at the chart from a month time frame to weekly and also to a day time frame. We're not using an hour time frame in this class because we are looking at what the market has done in 1 month and also want to look at how can we take advantage of the new month that is ahead of us. We have seen how the market has performed in this last week under review. It's for me, when people are calling me, I say, don't panic. We know that yes, there will be response to rate hike, but that will not say that opportunity capital market has finished. I know that those that are calling, and even when I'm taking the live class, I always mention that there's still opportunity in our market. But for you to identify that opportunity, you must know how to combine your fundamental, your technical, and also your sentiment report. We don't send sentiment report just for sending sake. It's for a purpose, so that you will know the psychology, you know the sentiment of investor as regard each stock was sending the sentiment report. Because when you see 100% buy sentiment, you ask yourself, that means this stock should be something is happening. If you see 100% sell, you see that something is happening again. Like when the market were the first 2 days after doing it on Monday, when on Monday market was down, on Tuesday when they pronounced the hike, so market lost almost 1.8% on Monday and that day before market rebounded on Wednesday. But you can see that both on the market and individual stock, you are seeing red, 100% sell, 100% sell. It tells you that people are doing what we call panic selling at that particular time. But if you don't understand how to use your fundamental and technical analysis, you'll be wondering what is happening. But for those who understand the market, know that yes, there must be such kind of a reaction from investor. And that means when such happens, you don't just because others are panicking to sell, you don't want to panic. That means that your goal, I say have, you don't have your goal. You must have a goal have your stop loss, your entry and your exit strategy. Once this at the back of your mind and or your fingertip, you can always go in and out of the market at the right time. Even when others are panicking, you are relaxing because you know that there's something you are seeing in the market. That's how to invest. Not just so because others are running out, also let us start running. No, I don't believe in that school of thought, because there's something that attracted you in those stocks and you are there and you are seeing going up, but suddenly they start coming down. You ask yourself, how long will you go? Then your stop loss will tell you, once you touch your stop loss, you go out. But if not, it's the position. I'm telling you, the reversal we just saw on the market now, I will tell you, it has come to stay. But that does not mean that you start jumping to some stop at this price. No, that's why this class is on today. Market has come to a level again that, for me, it's an uptrend. It's a markup phase, I agree. But there are some stocks that have rallied too high that all you need, you are waiting for a correction to jump into them. Because as the market is going up like this is the time for us to also look at all those sectoral indices to know exactly which sector that are still lacking behind. They have fundamental, market have not looked that way, and which are those that are leading the rally. Because I will say that in any market boom or bear, there's a sector or individual stock leading that boom or bear. As we speak now, I will tell you that it is the telecommunication sector that are leading the bear, the bull was in the market as we speak now. You can see the life of Africa. The performance, it's not that's leading the market boom. It's reflecting in all sectors. But as it's going, it's dragging some stocks up. We agree. But that now, inform me that you should look at those stocks that are lagging behind as we speak now, has good fundamental. They're in a good sector that give opportunity that they will also rally up. That is how to invest. Looking at your sectorial indicator or indices at this time is very, very important. Because if you are looking at only the NGX, NGX index, you'll be having some perception that this market is, but yes, it's going up. I agree. But look at those sectorial indices. It gives you exactly what is happening in some sector. Also, know that there are some sectors that they don't have sectorial index and in the market as well. Look at what is happening in that sectors in terms of sectorial activities. Look at the company performance. Look at their numbers. Is it going to support the movement in that space? That is what you need to know. You don't just say because others are buying. No, you must know why you are taking position in those stocks. That is why you need to exercise patience when you see the kind of pullback, especially if you are in good stock. That same stock that that pullback, especially stock like WAPO, during that period it came down. Can see that it's also bouncing back because people are seeing that in the industry where it is now, as I speak now, it's kind of a lag in terms of price. But we see that there's value in the company in terms of what earnings and other things that will support the price. Consider is how to invest. Don't just panic because others are panicking now. Because if you really want to understand the market, let your investment objective guide you. Your stop loss, all this will be at at any given time to guide you. Like I always say that the next move in the market is expected to continue because this, what we call I call it a wave 5 extension of what we're just seeing now, or wave 5 is going to take investors to another level of traders. But after we go, we can't say, but I tell you, like I always say, don't miss out the next wave as investors and traders weigh on impressive corporate earnings. Despite the 0.87 kind of contraction in our first quarter GDP, there are still more potential in the market at this hour and at this period of the market because we are seeing the kind of adjustment in rate by almost 150 points, and also seeing inflation getting to 17, which I believe that at the end of this May, inflation is likely to be either 17.8 or 17.70. That's what I tell you that even with the increment we are seeing in the interest rate, that means most of the investment in still in fixed income market are still what in real their real return is still negative because it's below the inflation. But there are some what we call commodity backed stocks. That I always tell you that is where we should be looking at because these commodity backed stocks are getting set now to bottom out from this rising inflation because one, as inflation is stretching the fixed income market, they are going to do what we call a portfolio rebalancing, and they're going to do that because they know that yes, by law, there are some percentage of their fund that should be in bond, which the rate hike will also give them like a landing, a soft landing. But at the end of the day, I'll tell you that they still look for where they can make money. If you check the PFAs in the market, in that industry that are topping the latest of performance, I can mention two that I know I'm close to. They know how to play, they understand the terrain in equity market, equity space, and they are taking advantage of it. Now they are seeing that yes, inflation is around the corner. They want to make money for their clients or where they're managing their fund. They need to know exactly where to put their money, because as far interest is rising, it's also strengthening the fixed income space. For that, don't look away from your equity side, because interest rate has come and it's not going to kill the market as people were expecting. And I know that at the first response is what expected. But don't forget that when there is high interest rate anywhere in the world, equity markets suffer. But because there's inflation now, and some companies are also pushing their costs to consumers, and their earnings will remain in that up direction. Even when earnings is looking up and price is looking up, volume is looking up, it's a good time to buy a stock. And this earnings will support the payout of the company at the end of the day. Going to support the price. And that is why I'll tell you that there are some set of traders I know that they only trade any season, because in that period they want to see what the company has done for that period, and also they take action immediately. So is it that you also should understand how to trade these earnings? Because I'm telling you, before we start seeing earnings in the markets going down, that should be from next year if it will slow down at all. Because with this we're seeing already, the Q1 are giving us an insight, and not only that, you can see post-COVID performance of many companies. They have beat expectation. Tell you that there's no cause for alarm. A stronger earnings of quoted companies would support high earnings and high dividend yield at the end of the day. For that, you need to keep your eyes on those stocks that I call them strong group stock or strong sectors that has some inelastic demand for their product, that even when they increase their prices, they will still make sales that will affect their bottom line at the end of the day. Looking at the interim dividend paying stock ahead in the coming months, it tells you that you as an investor, which sector you should be looking at. That is why I said at this time, if you're looking at only the NGX All-Share Index, you will be kind of misled, because we know the sector that are already thriving and the sector that are moving the market. You now don't know you to go and look at which sector will benefit from this rate hike as we speak. And those sectors is where you should also be taking point, because every investment is against the future. If in the future their earnings become better, price will respond to that positive earnings. That means it is not when the result that position, because you are seeing that there's some industry or sectors or companies that benefit from this rate hike. You also invest in them. Those companies also able to pass their high cost to their consumer. You invest in them. Once you are doing this, you are investing with knowledge, and at the end of the day, you see that your portfolio is still alignment with what is happening in the market, and you are making money. But when you are panicking, you forget about your investment objective. You forget about your plan, because you are panicking. That's why I said panicking is not good for any of us in this class this hour, because of our knowledge, our understanding. Rather, we make what intelligent and decision at any given time. As the interest rate has been hiked now, the sectors I'm looking at that we should also look at, because we expect that what is happening globally and this rate hike, because rising inflation has come to stay and rate hike has come to stay globally. You can see this is the trend the global central banks are following, just to curb or checkmate inflation. But another way, if some of them are sacrificing the economic growth to curb inflation, some also leaving their rate unchanged, some even cutting their rate depending on the environment. But here, if what CBN is trying to achieve is to attract foreign investors, I don't think that they are coming at this point. But our market has successfully survived for the past 3 years, seen stability in the market because of what they increase their local participation. Because as at the April report, we've seen that the foreign participants in our market has dropped significantly to almost around 13.28. It tells you that we have a more institutional investor and retail investor like you and I, and the higher network player in the market that are in the market now. It tells you that we can plan with our market now. Yes, we say there's this pre-election year, there is uncertainties. We agree with you, but also use the word invest with knowledge. Yes, that is one of the reasons also they gave. One is to attract foreign investors, also because they expected liquidity that will come from the money back politicians. That also the reason. But personally, I see that it's too early. If they are doing it in second have, but it has come. For me, I see that opportunity is in the market. Don't panic, or rather change your strategy. In one of the class, I was discussing that we have 5 phases of the economy. That these 5 phases are determined by interest rate, inflation, and the national output or industrial output, anyone you call it. And if you look at those, those three instruments I just mentioned now, they have a way to tell you where the economy is and where which sector is benefiting from that stage of the economy. Once you also understand it, you're also going to go a long way to help us. Like I mentioned in that class, that we have the early expansion, mid expansion, and late expansion. In early expansion, we expect that interest rate is relatively low, while inflation is low, and we are seeing on our uptrend in national output or industrial output. At middle expansion, you can see that yes, interest rate is just relatively low, while inflation is also relatively low, and we are also seeing but at late expansion, you can see that interest is already looking up, inflation is looking up, and what we are seeing is slowdown in the national output. I would say that is what we are likely the position we are now. Why do I say so? If you look at almost 150 points hike in interest rate, inflation is heading to almost 18%, and we're seeing that their first quarter GDP, yes, we saw a slight contraction there of 0.87% because of decline from the last last quarter 2021 from 3.98 to 3.11. Fine, good, but I see that companies in our economy have shown from the GDP that there are some sectors that supported that GDP. Those sectors also, if you look at their numbers that were released to the market, you'll see performance in those companies. It tells you that this is how you should invest. That those tell you that something is happening in those parts of the sectors and the on industry that you should keep your eyes on. This is how to play. Then the early contraction and the late contraction, we are not in that phase now in our economy because it's not too long we came out from a recession. We are seeing that the economy is recovering. But yes, I say it's fragile. Some are saying it's not fragile, it's the cyclical. But I tell you, our recovering is still very fragile because one, we have not gotten to pre-2017. There was a time we were putting GDP of almost 6 points, but we are still struggling to do 4 now. But let's see, like I said earlier, that this year 2022, we know exactly whether the economy is recovering because the one for 2021 against 2020 was from a down time to up time for them. Now I want to see recovery, but I know that what is happening in Ukraine has kind of distorted a lot of things globally and locally here, which you can see different distortion in supply, chain of supply here and there. But we believe that if we can manage it, and our company is still posting this number, our market remain a very vital place or very good place to play. Don't allow the rate to threaten you. For those in the physical market, it pays most people that has money volume, and also don't forget that for no PFAs, they are bound to do that because those market is deep. Because it's deep, they can put good money. But our market, equity market is not too deep that such money will come. But I believe that they will know how to also balance their portfolio. That means we don't need to panic. And you can see what has happened in the week under review. That market pullback in reaction, it did not recover and surpass the week to close higher. Market touching 54,000 for the first time. How many years? Almost 15. Yeah, this is the stage of around August 2017. That is the stage we are now. You can see the market is going back to touch that peak of 208. Sorry, 207. What we are now 2008. Yeah, that is where the market touched 65. But I believe that the way it's going, most those 6 stocks that control the 70 part of the market cap are likely to push it up. But the good thing that they are going up, they are still also dragging some stock up. That's why I say it is time for you to look at what your in the industrial index is very, very key. Looking at the interim dividend and earnings season ahead, I think investors should also look the way of banking sector, telecom sector, consumer goods, and the energy, at this hour or this period ahead of those numbers, because I see that they will lead the bound. Of course, I see what is happening in telecom already. Others will follow suit. Once numbers start hitting the market, and these numbers are powerful and also beat market expectation. The sell-off also because of CPN adjustment, I think is behind us now as we speak. That is why I said investors at any given time, they should understand how the market operates. Once you do that, you will always take the right investment decision. Yes, we want to look at our chart. but our chart is already, speaking to us. Let me quickly look at this chart so that you can see. This is a daily chart for the NGX. Let me just make it cool. You can see this daily chart. Very, very, for me, it's a good one here. You can see what is happening here. From this point, this is the new height of the market. We can see when market pull back here on the daily chart, it breaks down the T line, which is the it is a moving average exponential. It broke down the 12 down because the market has confirmed a decline at that stage, and I said it. But at this stage, from here to here, market was also in a different stage. This stage we are seeing, this up here, market was above the T line, which is the red one and the blue. From here to here, market was strong, but it got to this level, it started trending. That's where profit taking started coming in. But later, it gave up, market pullback, but was safe on the first day, on Wednesday, with only Airtel moving the market. But on Thursday, we saw a good number of stocks gaining again to support that rebound, and that trend was sustained on Friday. You can see the trend of the market on a daily chart. It tells that the market is good. Also, if you see here, that's why those that follow me on the 12 midday class, live class, I think you should be ahead of some of us that are in the class technically. You see, when I talk of ADS is here. That's why I leave it here so that you can see. See this blue line? This blue line is the ADS line. Why the green one is the the bullish line? The red one is the what? Is the bear line, the bearish line. But you can see from here to here, where it crosses over, it remains above what? Above the ADS line. But when the market pulled back, you can see when the market was started profit taking, it slowed down. And when it pulled back, it came below it. That was a sign of weakness. But you can see on the daily chart now, it's reversing up again. You can see the trend. I can see the trend here. And your MACD on a daily chart is confirming a bull situation. You can see your histogram here now that it's almost crossing here at Friday. It's a good sign that the market is steady. But the only thing here that is contrary to this movement is what is the money flow. Money flow is just trying to cover, it has not covered. But that's why I said we're going to look at the three charts today: the weekly, the daily, weekly, and what, and the monthly chart. Quickly here now. The weekly chart here. I see the weekly chart here. I see weekly chart is very, very strong, and I'm happy for weekly chart. You can see the weekly chart. Take example what I just said earlier. If you understand technically, you can see from here that the green line has been above what? Above the signal line, the ADS, which is blue. Say the market is strong and bullish. You can see it here, up here. It touches the T line, it bounces back. Touches the T line, it bounces back. It has not broken the T line down, and that's why it has remained up. It has remained up. But here on the weekly chart, you can see that at this point now, it's coming down. When last week, when the market was in red, and when the market lost, it came down. Then this week it has not gone up, but the good thing is that it's still above the blue line, which says that the market is strong. But when you come down here and see, your MACD is very, very positive. MACD is bearish already, bullish, sorry. Why the bearish? It's bullish already on the weekly chart. And also money flow has confirmed it moving from as low as what, almost 50 to 64 points. For me, money is also entering the market on the weekly chart. It's a good one for the market. That means should not panic, but as I said earlier, it's not the time to drop into some stock because most of them are at their peak. You wait for profit taking, a little pullback before you take position, because the positioning now is going to be ahead of what the Q2 number, and that is why for those that attended the master class for the last session, you know how we take position and how most of them has also meet a target. We have sold some while we're waiting to sell some. I believe before the end of this month, as the market is trying to rebound, we want to sell some off before. If you want to really participate in the coming one, start making plans to participate. Because that one too, we're going to position ahead of what the Q2 number. That's why you need to be in the class for the master class coming to the first Saturday in July. But from here, you can see now that the market is very, very strong. Look at this straight, almost 5-6 straight weeks. Apart from this one, we're having almost 6 up market in the last many months. In the last 2 months, for me, it's a good one. And if you look at this candlestick formation here, you can see that market is resisting decline at this stage. If you have been the other way, to have the market start coming down, but the market is still moving up. For me, it's a good one for the market. The market is still very, very much in order. Let's quickly look at our monthly chart before we look at the result from First Bank together. Then we'll not take our question and answer. Let's look at the monthly chart. That will finally give us a clue. That's why I said you must look at all this when you are trading. look at them. It's very, very important for you. You can see the monthly chart. Once I prefer that there is no cause for alarm at all. You can look at your monthly chart, look at from here to here, market have been from here. You can see even when market corrected this period, that was 2021. You can see here corrected, but still remain above the T line. Is that for the past 3 years now, consider our market has been But if you check something here, look at when the market was correcting in that 2019, a bit January, a bit February. After that, that should be 2018 now, 2019. Then when market touched, you can see that the red, the bearish trend was above what? Above the ADS line. You can see how to use these indicators to take decision and also to guide where the market is going. For me, our market is technically very strong, and also we are seeing some fundamental reasons also that is supporting the market at this hour or this period or at this cycle in the market. For me, or this season, we don't need to panic, but rather let's invest intelligently and make sure that we're in the right stock. On a weekly chart, market is positive, monthly positive, daily positive. That is that our market is good. But I said you should not forget, look at your sectoral indicators and know where they are to see if the time they are already at their overbought region. You should know those that are on the oversold region. You should what you be looking at. Like I said earlier, from this rate hike, the people decided that will benefit more from it to be banking. And if you talk like your cap too, are the one that will benefit more from this. For this hike, that I see it as a good one for every one of us that is the market now. For me, there's no cause for alarm at all. The market is still very much in order. Yes, we want to look at the numbers that came from the first bank. I will tell you that the numbers, for first bank, the first one, which is the full year that they released, I will tell you that if not the either loan recover or other income, that number will have been something else, because if you see what happened in that number, the top line is positive, we agree, the bottom line is positive, but you look at what supported the top line for the full year, was that low recovery or what we call it, or other income. For me, if not that, the result would have been something else. That means, consequently, if they are not doing their recovering, what to support the price, the earnings of this company, you have to be very careful for that kind of holding company that was seeing that yes, was seeing decline in the full year interest margin, but saved by the bottom line was saved by that of the recovery or other income that moved from, I said it earlier, moved from around 14 billion to about 149 billion. You need to also watch that. But if you look at the top line of this bank or the holding company, it moved from 590.66 billion to 757.2 billion, representing about 58% up, which is good. Fine, we agree with that. Then, if you look at PAT also moved in that direction. PAT moved from 89.73 billion to 151.08 billion. You can see what I'm saying is here that it was the magic of the 149 billion that moved this up. If not that, you can see that it would have been another that also supported the upline, because if you look at all the income, gross income, that was also supported the top line. That's recovery alone. For me, we have to also watch this company very well and see where it's going. The EPS moved from 2.45 kobo to 4 naira 70 kobo. If I'm telling you that the regulator has shown that this performance is from real operation and also go, they would have allowed them to pay more. Consider their payout for dividend is still flat, 0.35 kobo. But good thing that is improvement in terms of their profit margin, which as a result of that also the what I just mentioned earlier that impacted on their profit margin. Also, if you go down to look at their Q1 too, Q1 seems to also look good, but also that other income, if you check that, and it's also there in that result. You need also look at when a company has not done that kind of recovery or other incomes that for me it's not regular. That number you have to look at very well. But then you can see that the Q1 moved from 136.58 billion to 180.56 billion, representing 32.2% up. Good, PAT from 15.62 billion to 32.100% up. Good, I agree with you. Fine. Then also We saw the EPS moving that direction from 43 kobo to 90 kobo. Good one for the period. Also in that direction, we see improvement in their profit margin to around 17, which you know that other banks in that industry they are posting better than this profit margin, and some are below it. But I will tell you, we have to watch this company performance. But I said earlier, not in this class, that the performance, price performance of FBN holding.
Lock yourself up there. But now, even on the go.
Hello, that I believe that it is the momentum investing that will also guide the investor or that move the price of research. It's not this performance. That is why you can see even yesterday it was trying to struggle to move. If they are paid a good dividend, it can move the price higher than this for LBN holding. But for those that are there, you are not there for this earning, but I believe that the shareholding structure and the momentum investors that are there will change the price when they take action, when they start pushing things around there, around about. That will also move the price. But for those that are there, I would not say you should sell up attractively, but if your position is too much, you can sell to enter some and make money in others and come back. Because if it's not an entry dividend paying bank, then that means you can't tie down your money there unless you come back again. Then and go to those that dividend paying bank and see what also is happening, especially those banks that have a good spread in Africa. I think it's a plus for them now. Can also look the way of those banks for now. Yes, I would say thank you for any question or addition to the market review. You are very free to answer. Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, question or addition.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Yeah.
Okay, well done. Okay, thank you, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I just want to add to your discussion on stop loss and whether to join them, not to sell off. That is panic sell. Panic sell. If eventually we observe, probably let's say panic sell, and that panic sell hit our stop loss, at that point, what do we do? Do we still keep on saying the stop loss is not real? Is panic the indicator there? Or we just sell off in once we hit our stop loss, panic sell or no panic sell? So I want to get that area clarified very well. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Panic sell, I mean that is for general market. For your stop loss, act with your post loss is very, very important. Don't compromise. Once you hit your stop loss, exit. You can come back in that same stock if you see that it's moving well. Don't just say because the panic. That is why you're a trader. The difference between a trader and investor. Traders, your stop loss is to protect your capital, for you to manage your capital very well, so that you can see money to enter another opportunity. Once it's coming down, once you touch, even if you are taking profit, anything, once you touch your stop loss, quickly don't jump out. You are correct. There's no second thought of that. That's why I say take away emotion when you are trading.
All right. Thank you.
Any other question?
Hello, Ambrose. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the analysis. You've mentioned the First Bank, FBNH holding. We've seen the results, and the real top line was not all that impressive. But going by what we've seen in times past, like PZ, when PZ released their results, it wasn't the top line that drove the bottom line, but it was extraordinary items, the sale of the fixed asset, I think land. But the TIA market responded to it positively, not minding that wasn't a real profit. And we've seen the same thing in the First Bank holding. When the results came out, we've seen some positive response from the market. And when it happens like this, you consider that even stocks with sound fundamentals, sometimes when they release positive results, the price,
market
doesn't really react
yes.
to it. And yes, it puts you at the state of confusion.
Yes.
So some of these stocks really price in the expected performance into the price before they are released. So So in this situation, what is your advice?
No, for First Bank, as I said, First Bank is not the earnings that will drive the price. I said the activities of the big investors there, that is called momentum investing, will move the price, not really the number. If numbers improve, it will be a plus. That's that the holding structure of the bank is changing, and which is good. That is what many people are waiting for. Oh, if so person is in this bank, that means something will happen. It might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but something will happen. That's why they are still holding on. And it's likely to also play out, because how long the price will remain above 12 naira, above 11 naira. Well, that's why results come late or not. That is that people still having confidence because of the shareholding structure that is changing for good. Like what you just said, stock like Presco with a good result, everything. But when it came to the market, you see that pull back. But that one, that it won't last. It will rebound, which we know. It's good that we just watch and see how the market treats all those stocks. It's very, very important. Once you know what the market is doing, you are good to go.
Okay, you also mentioned that during these times, we should look at those stocks that are lagging behind, but with good fundamentals. Yes. I know anyway, in the course of this, maybe one or two stocks, I know some of them you may preserve it for the master class in July, first week in July. But for us to have some advantage, you can equally give us one or two bonuses.
No, there will be clear stock to pick for at the end of our class now. No man, we don't play with that. We'll still have our stock today. We discuss that.
Those ones I saw some short term, but something that can drive our earnings between now and the end of the year.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. I just want on this First Bank, just like every other banking shares, within the last 2 years, we have seen that not much major rallies have happened within the bank, except for ETI, which of course is a continental bank. And because of that, there are a lot of people who can always, but our local banks here, it's almost like it is predictable. I can't remember when, within the last 2 years, whether Zenith Bank, with all the fundamentals, they've not exceeded that, they've not hit 30 naira.
Yes, now.
So it's almost where, as it is today, such banks are only banks that can be giving people just dividends. In terms of capital appreciation, we're not expecting so much that can happen. Then it paid, I think, 3 naira 20 kobo for the last 2 years, and then everybody can possibly predict that at the end of the day, maybe for this ongoing financial year, they might perhaps, if they do so well also, pay maybe 3 naira 40 kobo or 3 naira 50 kobo, as the case may be. We're looking at their results. Zenith and the GTB, they seems to have plateaued such that their increases, both top line and bottom line, is not huge anymore. It's not huge. It has become flat. So every year you see maybe 10%, 20, 15%, and all that. And then at the end of the day, it's almost like, look, one can predict, as I stay here today, except institutional investors start coming back. What I think can trigger within the banking industry, for example, because like you said, it's local that are really patronizing. When maybe the primaries is conducted and then they're seeing hopeful candidates, or when the eventual election would have happened in February and we see the emergence of a leader that the world had confidence in, could enormously rally. But for now, for a lot of those banking stocks, shares, if there's anyone that can spring a surprise, in my view, I think it would be Access Bank, because Access has made so much money, but they've been focusing on their growth. That's where we can possibly see that Access can just jump from this 1 naira they are paying now to maybe 2 naira or 1 or thereabout, if they have stabilized enough. But for all those GTB, Zenith Bank,
They are tired.
They are tired. I think it will just be, it will just be around those areas. The kind of permutation that I personally set for Access Bank last year, I thought Access Bank was going to leap, you know, given all that they have. And at the end of the day, it could not even cross the 11 naira or the 12 naira figure, which was really very bad.
But
So I think this is just general for people. If you are on Zenith, it will just be, the focus will just be on good dividend earning, because they have Zenith and GTB, or the banking industry, they have about the best dividend yield. But for someone who is really focusing on capital appreciation, sincerely, I mean, this is just on personal ground. I sold my Presco to buy Access Bank positioning at the end of the year, thinking Access Bank was going to come out quite hugely. And see where the Presco is today now. Even if it's, you know, the drawdown value of 160, I would have made more money because I bought that Presco around 80 naira. I think I sold it around 100 naira. But see where it is today. So I think I'm just personally guided by the fact that a lot of these banking shares, see all of them, see even Fidelity among the second generation bank that did so well. It didn't get to 5 naira. So they all look like banks that have gotten tired. And in my view, it is when there are institutional, and this is also largely because their share outstanding is huge. Yeah. You know, they have very huge share outstanding in the market. It's almost like surplus buy. You can see it to buy anytime you want to buy. You know, no matter what happens, you can hardly see that they are on full what's it called? Bid. Hardly, no matter what happens, say you want to buy any of those banks any day, you don't see it to buy, impossible. So it's also likely because they have a lot of share outstanding. So I just think First Bank generally, compared to their peers, you would think First Bank is overvalued, even though their result, as is being shown now, is supporting it. But if you compare it with their peers, what are they doing more than Access Bank, for example? What are they doing more than UB? That their price will be 12 naira, and then the others are hovering between 8 and 9 naira. You know, but this is just my only contribution today. The banking industry seems to have be getting tired. Yeah.
Just to add to what you have said, you know, in the market, there are always some sectors that we can do what we call trading. A company that has no share in issue that is large, we can't do most trading. That is why we say banking sector is most tradable, because anytime you want to buy, want to sell, they are available. And that is another good thing, that when a company share in issue is large, it helps you to go in and out. And also when institutional investors are playing in those space, in those companies, see that also do that. But I believe that the banks are tired, as you just said, but because of this rate hike, the opportunity for the banks, if their numbers start leaping up, start going up, going to impact on the banks generally. We know that the interest regime or environment favor the banks most. With this little hike, I know that any moment from now, they'll start calling their customer to kind of review their loans and all those stuff with the new rate. I believe that banks will then, I know that also high cost of fund will increase, but still they are finding a way to make sure that their interest margin will also take up that their cost increase in their fund. But I believe that still cost of fund and the interest will balance. At the end of the day, we'll see better number from the banks if we're going to the future. That's what I see there. There's still opportunity for them. Like also, I will add to it that looking at your industrial, sectorial indicator is very important. And if you want to make capital appreciation, yes, the banks will not give you much, but there are other sectors that have something driving them, different news. That's why I say you must understand timing in equity investment, understand market psychology, what are investors saying, what are they doing. Once you have this at the back of your mind, you play the market intelligently and you remain at the winning side of the market. Don't be carried away with anything. Let your goal guide you, trade your plans, and also don't just say because others are panicking, you panic. No, don't panic with others. You must really trade your plan. And once you do that, you are good to go. Yes, one question.
Hello, good afternoon, sir. Hello, good afternoon, Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
well done, sir.
Yeah, well done.
Talking more about comparative analysis.
Okay.
I want to have Mr. Ray's opinion about the variation between fixing and Etana, because Etana is doing 67 kobo, sorry, first quarter. Fixing is doing about 55%, 55 kobo. And while fixing went to 12 naira, Etana is not yet able to cross 8 naira. I want to sincerely hear the view of Mr. Ray before Mr. Ambrose comes in.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, let me just make my own little contribution. First, because of the advent of COVID, within the last 2 years, it has given the pharmaceutical, companies some skill. Yes, healthcare company has given them some skills, and then fixing in particular, because they are into production, they're into manufacturing. And then within these last 2 years, we have seen them, stabilize. Some of them also have, I think, is it May and Baker or Fixing that has a contract with government now for production of some, drugs. So that is also helping. And then you would also see within these last 2 years how their results, is growing. They are also rewarding, investors. So there is that growth, at least within the last 2 years, that people can see. For Eternal Oil, it's like Eternal Oil was dormant, up to this moment that the owner of Rain Oil has acquired it. And we can see that, yes, the first quarter result, came out good. But they need to sustain those quarterly results the whole of this year into next year. And then people will now see that, okay, these results are stable. It's not just a one-off thing or somebody who is just driving. So, for example, now the Turner first quarter profit in earning per share is 67 kobo. If they hit another 67 kobo by second quarter, I'm telling you the market will rally. The confidence will be increasing. If they hit another 67 or about that by third quarter, you will see the price would have been going up, because by then people can predict that the earning per share is going to be in the neighborhood of 22 naira something kobo. However, we have also not seen the disposition of the new owners and the new board with respect to their dividend generosity or otherwise. So by the time you see, for example, that, they are able to get up to 2 naira earning per share at the end of the year, and this new board are generous enough to say, if we have 2 naira EPS, let us give 1 naira or 80 kobo. Once that becomes the policy, people now feel that, it looks like, what's it called? The growth, is consistent. The dividend payout is also reasonable. And of course, is in the oil and gas sector. And because of price rally globally on oil, that is also favoring it. So you're also looking at that, angle too. And the share outstanding, the what's it called, issue and fully paid up capital is 1.3. Their shares is 1.3 billion.
It's more.
And the owner of Rain Oil, they have about 60-something% of that share alone. So out of 1.3 billion, more than half of it is in the hand of the majority shareholder. So that again would also restrict the availability of that shares in the market. And like I said, once, for example, if they hit this same earning per share that they hit in quarter one, if they hit it throughout this year, by next year you will see what's it called, Eternal Oil not less than 15 naira, in my view. Because they would have had sufficient and sustainable earning to drive that price. This is just what I can contribute. I think Ambrose can add more to it.
Yeah, just as you just said, let me just add to it so that it becomes clearer. In this house, there's one thing I always say, that when you look at a company that earnings is going up consistently, I call it rising earnings, rising price, rising volume, and positive sentiment or positive technicals. For Eternal last year, even full year was negative. It is this time they are now bringing out a positive number. Markets will not just react to that immediately. But for Fixing has done good numbers from 2021 Q1 to the full year. Now they have started descending into 2022. And that is the pattern from used to rally to where it is. That is the pattern you can use when the company earnings improving on quarter basis, as Mr. Raymond have said. That is what I said. If you were only listening to me, I said when a company earnings is rising, price is rising, volume is rising, something is happening in that company. Go and check your fundamental, your technical, and it is positive, especially your charts. And your sentiment is positive, that stock will go places. I just said, you will see such reaction now in Tana until for 3 quarters we see continuity and sustain this momentum. This earning powers increase. That is where you can go for fixing. It has come to stay because what is happening in that sector, they're having positive sentiment already, also in oil sector, but because government giving attention, they're also having access to want this interest rate. That's also a plus. And because government is also signing one the other to go into vaccine, there's positive sentiment for that sector, which I know they're going to rub up on me and Baker, on GSK, on Nimet, and Fomadeco. For me, I think I like this class. We're becoming more intelligent on how to invest. We're not fully bad. That's why I say, when some people come and say, I'm not sure we're in a class, because the kind of question they ask, I've been wondering. But for the way we're going, we understand why we're in the market. We're not in the market because of others. You have a goal, you know the kind of sector, industry, company that will help you to achieve your goal. Now you stick to those companies and invest wisely. You don't need to go up and down. I think it's a good question. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Hello, Ambrose.
Yeah, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the analysis. I just want to say thank you because there was a time when the result for LTEC came out, you said people were studying it and want to digest it before it's a rally. Now, I have a few questions I want to ask. What's happening with Honeywell? That's number one. And number two, we are not seeing any response concerning that to Presco, even with the fantastic results. That's the question number two. Then question number three has to do with the QT's results that just came to the market. I would like you to say something about that and possibly what's called Police Microfinance Bank. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, Ambrose.
Okay,
Ambrose.
Yes, sir.
Please, can I just be permitted to say something about Honeywell?
Yes, go ahead, sir. Yes, I want you. Go ahead, sir. Yes.
Yes. For Honeywell, I want to believe that the issue about the takeover of flour mills is well known to everybody by now. And the rates that was paid, which was $4.20. I don't want to also divulge very confidential information, but what I can say emphatically is that there's not going to be any major buyout of the minority shareholders in the next 1 year. That one is certain and the result is probably going to be out today or tomorrow because the board met yesterday and ratified it. And, I signed up on it yesterday around 4 or 5. So definitely they should upload it on the portal today, tomorrow, or maybe by Monday. It's not very interesting. That's the video I can say. It's not very interesting. So
okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And let me add to that Honeywell before I start.
Thank you.
Let me add to that Honeywell before I start answering that question. Honeywell too, as you just said, from my feeler, what I had before yesterday, some of the investors also are saying that if a deal of almost 80 billion has been done in that transaction, some are going to already to the regulator SEC, as SEC is trying to look into it again to see what they do. But I ask them if at all they will, like you just said, it will take 1 year, but they tell me that they don't know the time, but really they are ready to buy, but they don't know the time. But those who are saying not the buying out, what is the price? SEC tries to look at it again. Some shareholders, as encouraged by Alaji, they are taking some steps and they are giving feedback that some shareholders are already approaching SEC, as SEC I think to the patient, they will call the two parties again to look at it. But I believe let's just wait, as Mr. Adeliki have just said, let's decide patient in that regard. But for police microfinance, I stated earlier that these are the sector that are in banking sector that benefit from this rate hike. Their bonus they gave also has increased their share in issue, which they did the right issue. But because the company is not being badly due to the nature of the operation, because most of the police pension and everything, they handle a lot of things. I believe that they will sustain their performance for police finance. But I'm not expecting price to move to 3 naira easily until we see their work improve the number, because the right issue and the bonus will likely slow down their earning per share, which also going to affect their payout immediately. But let's just wait and see their performance for that. But for stock like Presco, I tell you here in this that every stock has different characteristics and they have different timing when they move. If Presco have not moved now, don't be surprised. And also the style of Presco movement and Okomo, they are different. They don't move like other stock. They move once a while and they say they start trending before they make another move. They have different pattern. If that pattern I've studied for so long, I won't come here and tell you story. Let's just wait. There is time for that stock to also move up and give us a good return for Presco. Don't worry about that one. But for QTs, I saw the number of QTs about their unlisted account. Yeah, the numbers are good. But because I was preparing also for a presentation somewhere this morning, I didn't take time to go through the number, but I saw that the top line and bottom line was off. But I didn't go in between the lines to look at what has happened. But until next week, we can discuss detail of since these are unlisted account they release before their full year come, because the end of their financial year is April. Now we cannot digest their unaudited account, then our advice by next. But for me, technically, the stock is not doing badly, but the result also is good because their top line and bottom line was up. I want to look at it so that we can see what we're likely to see at the end of the day. Because I'm preparing for that presentation for today, I didn't have time to look at. I saw the number for QTs. Thank you.
Okay, Ambrose, for QTs, remember that they did a 1-for-1.
Yes, I know.
Yes, so that really their shares had been the earnings has been diluted, and what they have done is still okay. So you don't expect that much improvement to come, but you over the years, Kotek's performance keep on adding up, and we expect to see that in the nearest future. So I think their result is okay.
Yeah, for 2020, for previous year, their earnings per share came to 45 kobo. For the 2020 financial year. And then this came to 23 kobo because of their 1-for-1. So apparently if there was no 1-for-1, it may have been times 2 of that, which is 46 kobo. 40, just slightly above the 45.
Yeah.
You know, that they achieved in previous years. So it's almost like you can take the previous performance and this to be about the same. The only difference being that because they gave 1-for-1, this 23 kobo earning per share might not be able to drive, you know, the price so significantly.
Yeah. Okay.
But can I just add a little thing to Presco comment that was said?
Okay,
you know, like you mentioned, Ambrose, and then also the fact that, you know, I think the financial year for 2021 and the first quarter for 2022, they came out, I think they were just like 2 days, 2 days or 3 days interval. A day interval. Yeah. So because people saw the quarter one, and perhaps that quarter one is not as high as expected, forgetting that they've started taking into consideration the acquisition of Sayat that they bought. So people felt, it's not as good, you know. But if you look at the top line is almost doubled. Same period last year, they were doing about 7-point-something billion in revenue. This quarter one, they are doing, what's it called, about 15 billion, you know, which is almost 2 times, you know, that rate. And if you look at the group, the group is doing 19 billion. It is already over 100% of the revenue that they're doing. And then knowing that is a sector that is very efficient. If by their second quarter, at least their second quarter will give an indication of what it will be like. But on a personal basis, I am personally seeing that because they invested hugely in that acquisition, yes, their earnings will be growing, and then they would also be servicing their loan. But this, in fact, I'm telling myself, if I have more money, this is when I will. Presco today is on full offer at 162 naira. I will go and amass that. I will amass that thing. I still believe that by end of year, this is a personal belief anyway, of course, it's not for anybody to just take it, but by my own, that Presco will be in the neighborhood of 250 to 300 by the end of the year.
250
this is my own
250.
But,
the projection.
Yes, but the second quarter is what will determine that. By the time we see the second quarter, if it's exactly as it is in this first quarter, it will not drive price too much. But if it's significantly above this first quarter report, it's going to drive. But I just think that beyond the 2021 result, which is not bad, Presco Ukomu gave 8 naira. Presco gave 7 naira 60 kobo as dividend. The margin is not too much, but we can see how it is that people are thinking as though they didn't do well. But because their first quarter has come out and it's not as good as Ukomu. Ukomu is doing an per share of 9.9 naira, 90 something kobo. Yeah. Presco is doing 5 naira, 89 kobo. Yeah. So they feel, it's too low. But let's just see what the second quarter is. If Presco is able to recover fully and their second quarter improves significantly, we'll see their price jump, significantly. Thank you.
Yeah. Just to add to Mr. Raymond, position, just like I said earlier too, that these stocks in the market, every stock in the market has different timing for movement, and they have different characteristics. Not because Ether is moving, FT will start moving. FT have the time to move, and so that Ether will move. Each stocks have their own time. They are not the same. They don't move the same. Because they have different time to move, and they have different characteristics. Like what you just said, we can see that Presco is going to expansion, and when you are building capacity, you don't expect to, that capacity to slow you down. Like it has slowed down Access Bank, but Access is about to kind of, what would I say, erupt. When it erupts, people will be surprised because they are just accumulating. And they have different expansion strategy in Access compared to others that are going organically. They are not going organically, they are going through acquisition, and that is going to help them to get to the top easier and also faster. And when they come, they're going to swallow others. That is why if you are looking for banking stock to look at this time, I think there are only 3 banking stock which I will give for next week, because I know that sector is where we should look at now. Because coming from third quarter this year, we might not see much of this rate hike in their Q2, but in their Q3, you will see this rate hike coming to play in their numbers. And that is why, those banks, we'll discuss them when it comes to our top pick for today, against next week, we can start position ahead of them. For me, the market is ready. Like I just said earlier, don't be greedy in this market. Once you make your profit, learn how to take your profit. There are people that they didn't take your profit because they panic, they sell out of fear. Their profit they made just went off them because they are selling at a rush. No one to take profit. Don't wait until the market is running. Don't like Elijah said that. Don't wait until the party is over. Everybody want to run. No, know exactly when to take your profit. It's very, very important. Your hand is up, Mr. Peter. Your hand is up. Yeah.
Yes. What is happening to Union Bank?
Okay, for Union Bank, there's no cause for alarm. We're just waiting for the action to come out. I think they are also concluding their meeting with different regulators to give one approval or the other. Union Bank is very tight. If you are there, leave your position and wait to see. There's no contrary news yet.
Okay.
What of Julius Berger?
Julius Berger is still okay, very, very much okay. Yesterday was the preparation day for Julius Berger. For people to get it, I think around 28 or 27. For me, it's a good one because their Q2 number will change the face of that bank after the markdown. But I will tell you that Julius Berger will rally. If you are Julius Berger, hold your position. If you want to buy, go ahead and buy. Even after the markdown, I will tell you that one authoritatively. Mr. Akinwande, Akinwande, yes, sir. Your hand is up.
Yeah. I want to report Ambrose to the whole house. I'm imploring the whole house to please beg Ambrose to help me get the quarterly and yearly end result of this company. I've spoken to him. He said he was going to call me. He didn't. Ambrose is so difficult to hold down to get information information. Please
no,
do
sorry.
this for me.
Wait, Mr. Nwade, I know I didn't call you back. You know I'm busy. Please, pardon me. I would have called my colleague to send it to you.
Yes, that is what I say.
Sorry.
I know you are very busy.
Sorry.
You are very busy. You can delegate
responsibilities. I'll call Nelson
to
send it to you. Please, I'll tell Nelson. It's there already now.
I appreciate
it's not for you to just pay and get it. No, well, I'll tell you to do that.
Yes.
Sorry, problem. Sorry for that.
Please, Mr. Ambrose, what's happening to Cavatin? Mr. Cavatin.
I want to add something on this decision before you go, please.
Okay.
Elon Musk Starlink has just been approved to play in the telecom industry in Nigeria.
Yes.
Given that this is an international brand and it has all the financial muscle, what is likely to be the impact on MTN and Airtel and not the other telecom players in Nigeria?
Okay. Yes, let me start this way. You know, there are new entrants to the market who agree. You say they might have the financial muscle, but the ones in the market, for now, hold the market share. When they come, it is their penetration strategy. Either they are coming with low price before they can drive people out of what they are using already. It depends. Let them come on board first. But for me, it's an eye opener that not only come, let them also come and find their way to the market. But I believe that they're going to give MTN and kind of competing. The market will become more competitive. Let me put it that way. But let's wait for them to come. But it's a good one for the market so that we can even get in our data cheaper, but less strategy they are coming in with. But for those that are already also boosting their cash flow, you can see that both Airtel and the MTN are boosting their cash flow. We're seeing the impact going to the future, their numbers. For me, it's a good one. Let's see their strategy and how they're going to enter the economy or the market. That is another good way to also combine them with others to know what is happening in the industry. It's a good one. Let's wait and see where they have who's going to be their leader here and the name they are coming out to be and the platform that of they are going to use here in Nigeria. Let's wait and see. It's a good one, but I think I'm happy for that. It's a good one. Let's see how it's going to impact the telecom.
One advantage that they are going to have, Ambrose, is the fact that because their internet service provision is going to be from the satellite, it will be like the Turaya. If you remember when Turaya line came before GSM became available.
Yeah.
If you are able to structure very well in Nigeria, there's nowhere you will go in this country that you will not have their network. And that becomes a very major competitive selling point, that they will put forward before every other investor. But like you said, yes, MTN before now is the most widespread. They'll tell you everywhere you go. You see what's it called, MTN. But once this is a satellite base, the entire country becomes like a small component that all their data visibility will be anywhere you are, you will see their service and then you'll be able to use it. And then once it becomes cheaper, people will start migrating from voice calls to all these platform calls like WhatsApp and all that.
Yes,
so when you buy credit, if you realize that talking via data is going to be cheaper for you as against making call, you just switch. But let's see how all of this is going to unfold. It depends on the Nigerian team that they're going to put on ground and then the strategy that they're going to roll out and how quickly all of that. But it's a major competition that I think MTN and Airtel, need to be very mindful of and start to roll out their own defensive strategy to safeguard their market and their market share.
Yes, so thank you, sir. Yeah, our time is spent.
Please, what was Transcorp?
We have some questions on the chat box, please.
Okay. Okay, match account. Okay. The match account, yeah, I can give you match account already. Match account, I can see, academic press, university press, Learn Africa, what's it called? Flower May, Honeywell, Resta Express. These are the match account. Why for the June account, we have one there is active. That June account is Guinness. Then others are December. Why for April is Cuties. For September account, we have Vitafoam, we have Nimet for September account. These are the year end for this company. Then next one here said, which one is Starlink? Starlink is coming to be a game changer for MTN. Okay, the name of, is it the new internet provider, Starlink?
Yes,
Okay.
it's Starlink.
Okay, that is good. We have to discuss it now. For me, they say,
hello, sir.
Price of, I'm coming, hold on. What of Owando? Price is going down. They have missed the result release the schedule again. No. Okay, for me, for Owando, just if you're in Owando, like I said, don't panic out. Owando will soon move. But just be using all those big indicators to know it will be going up and down. But for me, Owando should be your medium and long term position, not for trading. Yeah. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Alasan, wurin samun ladan yawa ke gare su tun da ka rike nan. Tun da ka rike nan bari mu rike wani wajen.
Hello, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like Vitapom has changed their accounting date to December. Please check out.
No, I've not seen that though. I will check, yeah. I've not seen. Okay, I'll check. Unless it's a new development. Unless it's a new development, I will check. Thank you very much. I will check.
Kamin sun ce wani kai take wa kuma ka kira sallah.
Oh, that's the man off your mic.
Don't call again, no, Ambrose.
Off your mic.
Sorry, house. I don't know how to manage this one again. I've been seeing this. I don't know. Okay, sorry. Yes, for Owando, don't need to panic. Just take your position, and for medium and long term, not for trading, so that you have the last mind. If you are planning for trading, if you start moving now, you'll be shaking. But if you have it for medium and long term, you'll be a bit relaxed. But I believe that between now and August, we might see a price leap in that stock, but just relax. As far as oil price remain above $100, Owando and Steplat will expect them to do a turnaround that will buy their price. You can see what is happening as going to happen also in Steplat. Steplat is making money. When their Q2 come, we'll see the Owando will expect that 2019 and 2020, we don't expect a good result from them. But from 2021 to date, we don't expect a number that is also comfortable enough to support the price of movement. For me, just relax yourself for those ones. Let me quickly look at the last question here. For what is your take on ETI? ETI is a good position. Hold your stock there. What of Transcorp? Hold your position there. Flower May, yes, Flower May is among the stock we are buying in our givers today. In the stock to buy for today, it's a good buy. Yeah. Okay. Quick one. Our time is fast. When I'm not doing this thing from the venue of my conference I went. Let me talk quickly round up, so that I'm even tired already. Let's take our stock pick for today. Yeah. Hello. Our stock pick for today. One is UCAP. UCAP is our number one stock pick for trading. UCAP, Flower May, ETI, and Julius Berger. Julius Berger, after markdown on Monday, buy Julius Berger, please. If you mark down, take that stock on Monday after markdown. There will be movement in that stock in a moment from now. Mark down, take that so that once the movement comes, I can see technically, once they mark down, the price will become attractive ahead of the number that is coming. For me, it's a good stock to put in your trading portfolio for the week on that, because we are positioned ahead of their Q2 number, and their Q2 number was very impressive to surprise the market. Yeah. Yes, for 1 week. No, it's because the market for Presco is not there now. That's why it's difficult to sell. For a side patient, when there's a turnaround, that stock will be on bid. You can sell, but just hold on. But if you can get that stock below 170, I would advise go ahead and buy also Presco. Thank you, and God bless you all. Yeah. Let somebody in the house pray for us to round up the class, please. I would prefer a Muslim brother, a Christian brother pray for us initially at the beginning. Let a Muslim brother in the house also conclude the prayer for us.
Let us pray. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Rahmanir Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen. We thank Almighty God for this wonderful personality in the person of Mr. Ambrose, who you have given him the skills, the intellect, and he is showing us a lot of things, just like you are coming down to direct our trading. We pray, God, that you're going to preserve this personality, Mr. Ambrose, and we pray that each time we come here, we will share joy of profit we are making from the market. We pray by his mighty name.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, sir. Yeah,
Somebody
nice
asked for Honeywell.
Well, Honeywell, I've given an answer for Honeywell. Just hold on for Honeywell. We're expecting the result. At the same time, the shareholders are also taking moves to know exactly what is going to happen at the end of the day. Let's just keep our finger crossed in Honeywell, not cross for alarm. Yeah.
Somebody asked about NPF microfinance. You didn't answer.
I've answered that one now. I said it now. I've answered NPM. I said their bonus they gave and their right.
You answered though.
I've answered.
Oh,
yeah,
you did.
Yeah, you will play the replay. You will get the answer. Yeah, I will share the replay.
Thank you both.
Yeah.
Somebody asked for transport. Transport.
You say you wanted to do some 3 banking stocks.
The 3 banking stock. Okay, the 3 banking stock are Access Bank, ETI, and UBA. Have them. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. For Transcorp is good to buy. You know, you say, what about Transcorp? I say it's good. Transcorp is good to buy. Yeah, I've answered the question. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend, Ambrose. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambrose.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Okay, bye, Mr. Ambrose.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you all.
Bye, Ambrose.
Yeah, thank you,
Enjoy
sir.
your weekend, though.
Thank you. You too, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.